Om Namaste, beautiful earth flowers. Thank you for joining me today. So today I'm sitting here in the hot sun. So I'm baking. So I decided let's make a video. So I want to wish you all happy new now. Blissful journey into the heart as we're all walking each other home. So as of the flow of this conscious self, I'm flowing fully into the path of the unknown, meaning with no plans but spontaneously moving, even spontaneously writing, expressing as consciousness wants, uniquely and raw. I am not one that labels myself as anything other than the absolute self. However, in life, we have to communicate and interact. So consciousness is self-created language. So language consists of words, and the words we use in order to create a dialogue with one another, so we can understand and grow and awaken each other. That's what we are, mirrors. So that's why I use the words that sometimes might seem like I'm labeling, but it's the way you have to interact. I wish we can all speak telepathically, but that can only happen when one vibrations levels are the truest, which is the level of the highest dream. So in order to remain as the beautiful self, one has to deprogram as expose one's mind-made limitations. So for example, anybody that I expose is because they are talking about me. Because if they're not talking about me, I don't need to write about them, beloveds. But this work of a light worker is brand new to me. And a light worker shows you how they transcended their darkness to remain as light. And that's the part that most beings are forgetting, the yang. So we are yin and yang. So you have to experience suffering in order to discover your eternal self, because the identity experiences suffering, and the identity has to be transcended to remain as the absolute, the awareness itself, or consciousness. Because on this plane you cannot be the Buddha 24/7 in stillness. You are stillness experiencing the movements, and that's the beauty of awakened mind, an awakened self, an awakened being. It's when the mind merges into heart. So the mind is the identity, the seeker that is walking towards home. And when it realizes it was already home, the seeker vanishes, because the seeker is illusionary. The identity is illusionary. Matter doesn't exist. All is energy. So you cannot be walking home. You're already here. Home. All of us. One. It's one consciousness, one energy expanded into all forms. So this is the part of life that one has to expose to remain as the self. So if this friend is not talking and lying because it cannot stand its truth yet, so I have compassion, I wouldn't be writing about him at all. It's the truth. But this is the task that God itself has sent this chosen one. So I'm walking full into my truth, into love, into compassion. So there's lots of like flies flying around me. I'm like the flower, they stand up. Yes, so other than that, I wanted to say, yes, that I am the nothingness, pure nothingness. I am not an identity, not a persona. Sensuality is beyond sexuality for me. Of course, I've experienced sexuality. We were born experiencing that because we were born polluted by the media of how things should be and how one should perform in bed and stuff. And the mind tell you, oh, you haven't had sex for 3 months? You must be frigid. Stuff like that. It's all coming from the mind, you know. To deprogram this, you become, one can say, quote unquote, there's another label, celibate. But celibacy came for me really, really spontaneously. I never planned this. as I'm a firecracker, you see. I am very sensual, and we all have needs, all of us. Yet, when transcending the egoic mind, the needs become less, until there are none. Because pure nothingness is without any needs. So, of course, sensations come of needs, needing to have a sexual intercourse or to play. And then it goes. And of course, one is like the horny celibate. But it's just a phase in life. So it's not to be taken that seriously. Remember, we are an expression of consciousness, an authentic expression. My expression is authentic as unique. Nobody should have my expression if they don't want it. And everybody can have sex if they want. I don't care. I pro you. Have fun. So it's all about that. And of course, I am into not labeling either hetero, homo. It's all a label, you see, to program yourself. Some people are try all everything. I've met lots of them. So I'm open to all beings as all expressions. However, I am heterosexual. So I've been hearing things, but it's not true. If I was something else, I would be freely open to that. But I'm a heterosexual in this expression of consciousness. So, yes, what I am now is rebirth as the self. I've deprogrammed this psychological mind, express raw, pure, authentic. Raw, pure means without any hidden agendas, just fully open as you are. Like a flower doesn't hide its stems or petals. Right? So as we are blossoming, all petals must come out, and sometimes some must fall down, you know, so rebirth can happen, no? It's like a recycling of your energy. We are energy beings, so we're going through all the phases in life in order to remain as the authentic self. So this is what my journey and all journeys on earth will yield: your authentic self in the divine timing that the universe itself will unfold your inner recognition. When you recognize your inner self as the divine self, which is in all other beings, objects as forms, because the whole earth is one consciousness, the whole universe is one consciousness, all dimensions is one consciousness, all planes is one consciousness. We are one consciousness. The forms are only temporarily experienced through a projection of the self, of the matrix, one can say, is the matrix eyes, or the awareness eyes. Yet we are the consistent self, the untouchable, the one that is not in the participant fully, yet, like, let's say, a fraction of the self is in the projection. And consciousness is a fraction of the self. So you are the beyond highest self. This is who we are, one. So I am here as the beautiful goddess of compassion, sensuality, of truth, of fire, of oneness, universality, of forgiveness, of understanding. And I bring this fire onto earth. I bring this energy to all. So you can see in my eyes and my expressions that I am you in another form. I bring the oneness. Sometimes it might sound a bit rough, but the roughness is also from the self. It is to demolish the intense ego separation that exists here within all forms. Even the masculine form has this divine Shakti. It's the divine Shakti energy that I bring. This divine energy exists in all feminine goddesses, in all masculine. Even this goddess is rising. So it's not about showing your masculine side anymore that we are seeing so much on this earth that creates the separation and duality. Rather, it's about rising the femininity that exists in all men as female. To project this beauty of love, universality, the shift of consciousness, the awakened soldiers and warriors of Christ, of Jah, of Shiva, Krishna. We are here as one. So thank you so much for listening to this beautiful magical word and power to the femininity rise in all. Not only men, not only women, but men as well. So all is one beautiful, bountiful energy of consciousness. We are one consciousness. rising, awakening into our purest truth. So we are walking each other home. So let's empower all the divine feminine goddesses and the divine feminine that is rising within the masculine form. I honor you. I see you. We are one. Remember, don't take anything of mine personally. I'm just an expression of raw, pure authenticness of consciousness. Even through my roughness, I am consciousness. I am the self. Love. Let you know that you are a chosen one for this truth as well. So expose the ego, temporary illusions to rise as the consistent, conscious self. Peace and love. Mwah. Ja live. I love you all. I'm gonna take a dip in the water or in the ocean. Bye.